Morning everyone, and welcome back to This Week in F1, where we are just days away from the summer break being over. And this summer break has got me so bored that I watched IndyCar the other weekend, and it was alright, but it didn't really hit the spot. Like a heroin addict smoking weed, like it was something, but it wasn't the thing. That makes me sound like a heroin addict. Let's just clear that up. I'm not a heroin addict, but I just imagine that's what it feels like. You know, if you are a heroin addict, feel free to let me know down in the comments, or maybe don't. Maybe get help instead. Anyway, the point is, I have been deprived of spoiled rich twats taking their super expensive, super fast cars round and round in circles, and now I'm on the verge of killing myself. Anyway, even though there has been no F1, there has still been news, and we start with Massa, who has turned into an honorary member of Team LH, and just like Team LH, he is going against Team LH, as he is bringing a lawsuit for the 2008 season result where he came second because of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix and Crashgate. Well, that's what he says. There are definitely other factors involved, but we'll get to those in a minute. Now, why is this all happening now instead of, I don't know, 2010, 2009? Well, let's start off with some backstory real quick. Crashgate happened at the Singapore Grand Prix in 2008. However, it wasn't investigated until midway through the 2009 season. Now, Bernie Ecclestone said in an interview last year that he knew about Crashgate and did nothing about it during the 2008 season. However, he now says he can't really remember the interview, which makes sense because he was probably off his tits. What are you talking to me? Now, as for this lawsuit claiming damages, first of all, it's not anyone else's fault that he drove off with a bloody fuel pipe like a colossal cock.
Cock? This is a massive cock.
Dragging it down the pit lane like a tail in a vomit-inducing mix of Formula 1 and furries. And that wasn't his only cock-up that year either. He also managed to fuck up at a number of other races, like Silverstone, where he became the inspiration for Mazepin, or the P17 in Hungary, not to mention the shit show at the start of the season, where he DNF'd twice. There were plenty of opportunities for him to make up points, yet he made a bigger mess of it than Latifi in the final sector of Abu Dhabi. On top of all of this, it would also then give precedent for other people to go back and try and overturn season results. For instance, Prost versus Senna, Schumacher versus Hill, and yes, of course, Hamilton versus Verstappen. But it's not going to change, and here is why. All the celebrations have happened. The podiums, the trophies, the money. Taking those moments away would just make the season feel hollow, like the inside of the average F1 Twitter user's head. In my outraged opinion, Massa needs to stop blaming other people, move on, and realise he was as much to blame as anyone else. Moving on. James Vowles has said that 5-year plans are pointless because anything can happen within those 5 years. I wish he would tell that to job interviewers though, because I don't feel like telling Sandra at Tesco's my life plan. Big Fred has said that Ferrari have to be aggressive with development and that they have to think differently. Well, the last time they did that, they got in a bit of shit with the FIA, so I think they should tread carefully. Big Bed Fred has also said that Leclerc can be a bit too impulsive, while Sainz can be a bit more of a consistent character for the team. Doesn't really matter when he's consistently worse.
Can we tell him? What for? Do we know what for?
Charles Leclerc wants to race the 24 Hours of Le Mans with his brother, probably to see what it's like to finally be a part of a good Ferrari team. And finally on Ferrari, apparently they approached Lewis Hamilton earlier in the year to ask him to join the team. Hamilton responded with a resounding statement.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Albon has reportedly had formal or informal conversations with 5 or more teams. Seems like he has interesting conversation. Maybe he's got a good life story. His Yankee counterpart, though, is under significantly more pressure, with Schumacher seeming to be after his seat for the 2024 season. However, Williams do want to give Logie Bear a bit more time to improve, so fair play to them for not stomping on the rookie's throat. Gunter Steiner has said that adding another team to the F1 grid could stunt the growth of the sport. In all fairness, he would know a lot about stunting growth. Toto Wolff has said, what everyone else already has, that the 2023 season would be a great year without Max Verstappen. How do you think of that one? Hamilton's Zonda was crashed over the weekend, and I'm sure Massa is finding some way to make this about him, as it includes Hamilton and crashing. Lance Stroll has just figured out that the goal of F1 isn't to be a moron, after saying he has to figure out how to be faster than Alonso, because that's what we're here to do, right? Well done, Lance. Took you a minute. Zach Brown showed his extensive knowledge of F1, saying that if there were two Perez's in the Red Bull, the fight would be a lot closer at the top.
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
In stranger news, the Olympic Federation are reportedly considering adding motorsport to the 2028 Games, which are to be held in Los Angeles, and this could be interesting. Until the Russian team. Moving on, and taxi drivers are threatening to block the Dutch Grand Prix because they have been banned from working around the Zandvoort circuit. I mean, both sides of this are stupid. Why ban and why block up the roads? But I'm 100% siding with the taxi drivers because it is petty and funny. And finally, Daniel Ricciardo has reacted to an erotic novel that was written about him called Overtake My Heart, Thick Rick Races for Love. And for completely unrelated reasons, we're going to end this here in a bit.